moment, I knew I had to change my life. I started this journey because I wanted to live life long enough to see my son grow. See him go through his time. Hey everyone, this is my weight loss journey. How going from 370 pounds to me using Zepbound now. I started off thinking, man, I'm 370 pounds and realized, I'm getting bigger. Health is slipping away from me. The fear of not being there to see my son in the future grow up, see how his greatness and how he will grow up to be a man and fatherhood and everything like that. So I basically decided I need to work on myself. So I decided to visit a doctor and see what are my options to grow, lose some weight, and see how I can better myself. Then, that emotion that you're going through, yes, I made it out of surgery, so yes, we're here. And then now, reality kicks in. Now, they don't keep you in the hospital long. They just be like, all right, next day, it's time for you to go home. So now you go home, you gotta get into a comfortable space. In my mind, which one's better? Sleep in the bed, sleep on the sofa, recline chair, everything like that. So now we're here. That's the next step. Trying to figure out comfortability because, you got surgery, cut open a little bit, laparoscopic, which wasn't too bad, but it still hurts. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, it don't hurt. It still hurts. You still go through those things, And people don't understand how much you use your core and, the surgery in your stomach area. So you keep constantly moving and that pain is there sometimes. So started off with liquid diet protein, man. But I had to have my calorie protein intake had to be high every day. So I'm making sure I had to go find some liquid diet proteins. They prescribed you a little bit, but even after that, you got to keep it up. So, did a little research, found a little liquid protein. The shakes weren't doing well. It was just like liquid protein shots that was working great for me. I remember I found a company called, I believe it's Muscle Med's Carnivore liquid proteins, like 40 grams of protein, one little liquid shot. So that was helping out a lot. Then you start graduating and gradually moving towards, eating different type of meals weeks into it. I remember, man, I had to eat like bite-sized cubes of food. My wife would puree chicken for me, would freeze the cubes, and I would eat each of those cubes as a meal throughout the day. Yes, ice cubes. That was, you look at it now back today, you're like, wow, I ate ice cubes. That was my whole meal. One little ice cube. And then when you tell people pureed chicken, they're like, oh, that's disgusting. What were we, babies? But yeah, it was kind of like eating like a baby. Pureed chicken. But it is what it is. At that time is what was best for me. And learning how to be patient with myself and taking it easy, not rushing to meals. I mean, sometimes you eat too fast. It makes you want to throw up. So, these are the different things and some of the struggles that, a lot of people don't tell you. So it's really not an easy way out. It's really changing your mindset and your mentality. And then you going through some things along the way, man. Then from there, you having to taking it easy at first, but then you have to start to move around. You don't want to be stationary for too long. So how to get your exercises in while you're on this. So it was a journey. Started from baby steps all the way to being able to walk long distance and everything like that. And they'll tell you throughout that Gastric Sleeve journey, I don't remember going outside and running a full mile, running 2 miles, 3 miles, you know. It was literally, all I did was walk. All I did was walk. So it started off, I remember walking, figuring out how to get from the bed or the sofa to just the bathroom. Couple steps, you know. Then graduating from that, moving to, okay, walking from the bedroom or the sofa to the front door. Then going from going from that to bed sofa to going to the sidewalk. Then from the next step, trying to achieve the next goal, walking to the stop sign. Then from there, it was like walking to the first block. Then it was walking to the street lights. It's baby steps. It's a journey that you had to put yourself through. You know, it wasn't easy. And, again, people keep thinking it's the easy way out. It's not. Changing your mindset and physically getting to do these things. Now, all through that beginning, so now, just imagine, went from 370, had to lose 40 pounds, to in over a year, I got down to 220 pounds. I was feeling myself, yeah, going out, but letting people know that it was a journey. Then you had to focus on everything you eat every day, calorie intake. If you ate too much, you're throwing up. If you ate too much, you're feeling like, like, oh my God. I remember, I'm going to speed up the process because, I didn't have patience sometimes. How do I speed up the process? I remember getting a thermo shake and drinking the thermo shake, and it had like thermogenics to help you burn fat a little faster. Man, that put me through the ringer. My stomach was turning and burning. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to go to the hospital, but it's those struggles, but mental battles, like, going out, I'm working every day, how to basically measure out your food for your daily intake. I was coaching, so then I had to, I'm staying after hours, after work, having to, eat a certain amount of then staying hydrated. You're drinking. Once you drink too much, then you're not eating, and you're out there. I'm going out to the football field now. I'm back to the physical aspects in my life being put back in, and learning how to, maneuver with those obstacles. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but it was a journey that I put myself through, and, I had fun doing it. But could be slay with, proudest moments of my life, but learning and seeing your body change. I mean, now mentally I'm getting in there. I'm like, you know what? I can start buying some clothes now, smaller sizes, getting fit. You feeling, everything's coming into yourself. You start feeling yourself even more. And man, now I'm going out there. I can go outside. I can throw the ball around with my son, not get too tired. I could, football players running down the field to go score the touchdown. I'm running down the field with them. Those things and moments that you go through, like it's a great feeling. Going outside, playing basketball games with my son, or being able to pitch the ball, run around bases with him, and, doing different activities without having to become extremely exhausted, and, feeling good about yourself, and having that feeling to be able to keep up with him and keep up with the rest of the family. But man, I was a little bit over a year, and was able to get from there, the 310, 320 pounds, all the way down to 220. That was amazing. That was amazing. So what I learned after all this, it's been 11 years, fighting myself, fighting with my health, from 2015 to 2026. Here's everything I learned. Surgery isn't magic. It's great. It helped you push the needle. Remember, weight loss isn't linear. It's going to be obstacles along the way. Sometimes you're going to gain weight. It's going to fluctuate up and down. Remember, stay focused, be disciplined. Think about why you got into doing this, why you want to better yourself. What's your motivation? Continue to keep up the fight and you will win. You could do anything you put your mind to. Remember that. Stay focused. Continue. We're here to support you. Once again, hit that button. Subscribe. Remember, this was my journey. To everyone out there, I want you to leave some comments. Tell me when was the moment you realized you needed to make a change in your life. Who helped you along the way? Who helped you be accountable? Who pushed you? What are the routes that you were taking? Have you tried the gastric sleeve, gastric bypass? What were your journeys? Mental toughness. What were your weaknesses? What were that one thing that you could not knock the craving? And weight, what did you do when your weight fluctuated up and down? Thank you again. Continue to follow our journey. Remember that you're not alone.